Today we will study the principle of sincerity. So, what are the principle of sincerity? The principle that whether his range of experience and personal power be great. Okay, we'll start from here, from the point of view of Plato. Plato says all good and lasting work in literature is entire sincerity the oneself, to own to one's own experience of life and to the truth, to things as one privilege, to see that very quality of sincerity with what will be remembered for Carlyle the essence of all heroic greatness. So this is the discussion they have given upon. They said that it is depend on the sincerity of the work and the writer, that how well they experience their life, and then the principle that whether his range of experience and personal power be great or small, a man should write of that which lies at his own doors, should make it his chief business to report faithfully of what he has lived, seen, thought, felt, known for himself, is one which the student of literature can never afford to lose sight of. So it depends on the writer, or it is the duty, it is the prime duty of the writer to give a sincere picture of his life, scene, life, his circumstances, his thoughts, his feeling, so that the student of literature will not lose to gain the insight of it. So the cleverness and brilliance of many books which may have not the essential quality of geniusness will often tempt him to neglect it. But the truth remains that the value of literature is in the measure of its authenticity. So according to Matthew Arnold, according to Plato, according to Carlyle and so many other writers, is that the essence or the originality of the literature is uh, is essential to produce a sublime piece of literature. Otherwise it will, if it lack geniusness, and it will tempt to neglect. So our study of literature thus begin in a very simple and humble way. We take a great book and we try to penetrate as deeply as we can into a personal life. We make our reader of intercourse between its author and ourselves. We listen sympathetically into his thoughts and feeling. We note carefully how he looked at life, what he found in it, what he brought away from it. We observe how the world of experience impressed him and how it is interpreted through his personality. We become familiar with his character and outlook, his strength and weaknesses, his very accent. As we become familiar with the character, outlook, strength, weakness, as we read the book, we become familiar with the accent, with the weaknesses, with the strength, with the character, and with the outlook of the book and the writer. We become what we become actually, it becomes the it becomes the it feels like that we as a reader and the author becomes in become one and become one. We feel like one when we see the world through his eyes, through his experiences. Then we would feel like we are the part of it, we are the essential part of it. Thus this then what happened in in our straight point, the first step, as I have said, that is cultivation of the habit of a good and profitable reading. And it is the objected that this is indeed an obvious view of literary culture, one so generally recognized that there is no need to labor it. So in the student should be the cultivation, it is necessary to cultivate the habit of good and profitable reading. It doesn't matter that what you are reading, but whatever you are reading, it should be authentic, it should be fresh, it should be fresh, and it should be what we use, original. It should be a originality. So the generally recognize that there is no need to elaborate. My reply is thus, now we see how Hudson is talking to us. Hudson is saying that the moment we begin to talk about the systematic study of literature, the tendency set it to think of something formal and pedantic. and to substitute of the true idea of intimate and sympathetic intercourse, the academic idea of mere scholarship. It becomes to be regarded as our main business, not to know our books in the sense in which we were here speak of knowing them, but rather to know down to the mindset particulars. However, the patient eruditions and elaborate criticism have accumulated or found to say about them a very different thing. Hence, the necessity of dwelling. It is all about talking about the sincerity that a writer put into the piece of art, and sincerity from the reader to put his heart and mind into the reading, so that he can know well the personality and the point of view of the writer. So upon the reading, so it is the platform. The literary piece of art is a platform between reader and the writer. It is a bridge between writer and reader, and so this bridge or this gap would be filled with sincerity. So according to Hassan, only sincerity from both sides can bridge this gap, can fill the gap between this bridge. We are so with this conception before us, we can realize from yet another point of view the vital relation of relation and life. With George Eliot said, George Eliot writes about realism. I remember side of art is generally, especially true of art of literature, is nearest thing of life. It is a mood of amplifying experience and extending our control with our literature makes us partaker in a life large, richer and more varied that we ourselves can never know of our own individual knowledge, as it does not only because it opens up new field of experience and new lines of thought and speculation, but also even more notably because it carries us beyond the pinched and mere humanity of our everyday round of existence into contact with those fresh, strong and magnetic personalities who have embodied themselves in the world's great book. So the personalities have embodied into the great books. This is what George Eliot believed, that it is the nearest thing to life, and it is the amplifying and extending experiences on our contact with the fellow man beyond the bounds of our personal lot. The book is essentially, the piece of literature is actually our intercourse, our sort of intercourse, or our amplifying or another way of amplifying experience, and extending our contact with the fellow man. So the literature make us richer, the varied, and we ourselves know our individual knowledge, and because it opens up new field of experience and new lines of thoughts and speculations by pinching and merging humanity of our everyday round of existence into contact with these fresh, strong and magnetic personalities. So we shall leave the study of an author for tomorrow. For today it is all. The sincerity is required from both sides, first from the part of writer side and then from the reader side. So till then, tomorrow, take care. Bye bye.